Welcome to Whisky.com. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. Today I taste one of my favorite single malt whiskies. I have close to a dozen favorites, but in this group of whiskies there are a very few I like the most, and the Talisker Distillers Edition is one of those. So be careful. It's my favorite, so I might be a little bit overwhelming. This whiskey has 45.8 ABV, as nearly all Talisker whiskies, not in cask strength, have. And this whiskey was matured in two different cask types. The first is typically American oak, ex-bourbon casks. And then we have a second maturation period, which all the distillers editions of the classic malts of Scotland, where this Talisker belongs to, have. So the second maturation here is between 6 months and 2 complete years in Amoroso sherry cask from the south of Spain. The Amoroso casks deliver a lot of fruit, and the oak of these European casks is strong and delivers spiciness. The Talisker brand itself is quite spicy from itself because of the particular shape of the stills and of the line arm of the stills. I show you a picture here where the still narrows to the top and then bends to the line arm, and then you have this particular S-curved shape, and this shape shall bring the spiciness or pepperiness of this whiskey. Some say, yeah, it's more fashionable. It's the chilli catch of this whiskey. That's it. Let's have a try. Already smoky on the nose. The Talisker Distillery is on the Isle of Skye, which belongs to the Inner Hebrides at the west coast of Scotland. This island only has one distillery, the Talisker Distillery, on the west coast. On the west coast there's a little bay, and it resides on the inner side of this bay. So the rough sea will not hit the distillery, but it's very close to the ocean. In former times the whiskey was delivered by ship, as the ingredients came to the distillery by ship. But today everything goes by lorry over the new bridge. Skye has a bridge. A few years, or more than 10 years, you have to pay at least £5 for passing the bridge, but after the first period now, I think the passage is free. But you have to pay for the visit in the Talisker Distillery. Beautiful distillery. Yeah, smokiness. How much smoke? I would say 25 to 30 ppm. Smoke in the whiskey. This is not too heavily smoked, but it's more than the lightly peaty whiskies. I think it's closer to 20-25 than to 30. And beside the smoke, you taste the fruitiness of the sherry, and you have fresher fruits like plums or grapes. No resins. It's not so dark. It's not so heavy. They are fresh fruits, but not that fresh as apples or pears or peaches. No. A little bit darker, but not too dark. Difficult to describe. And the smoke fantastically mixes with the fruits. a very complex aroma. And this is what I like first now. The taste, there's a second experience. Very, very spicy. Oh, a peppery. This chili catch in the front, the mouth, on the tongue. And in the same moment, very sweet and mouth-watering. And a little bit drier. The Amoroso sherry is a dry sherry. And this dry sherry is now visible on the tongue. Slight, very slight bitterness appears, like dark chocolate. But between milk chocolate and dark chocolate, the bitterness is close to nothing. But you feel the spiciness of the wood. The first spiciness, the chili catch, come from the pot stills, and this second spiciness come from the European wood of the casks. Very long and lasting, lingering. The spiciness again, and a vanilla note is it's on the nose, which carries the smoke and the fruitiness and the spiciness going down your throat, just down to the stomach. Fantastically complex single malt. And this one is the distilling of 2002 and the bottling of 2013, which is now available 2014 on the shelves. If you see another vintage of this single malt, there are differences between the bottles, but not as big as people tend to say. The difference are marginal, and the difference between these bottles and other distilleries are much more significant than the differences inside the distillery from one vintage to another. There are differences, yes, and I encourage you to taste the different vintages of this single malt, but it does not matter if you have the 2002 or 2003 or whatever. It's this particular double maturation of the Talisker Distillers Edition which really counts. Yeah, thank you for watching. Whisky.com, and please stay tuned.